Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a purple eyeshadow look and I'm going to be using the Kaleidos Lunar Lavender palette. This used to be a favorite of mine. I even once said, I think I'm going to wear this to my wedding. It basically has some really beautiful multi-chrome shimmers and some impactful mattes here. My goal for this look is to make it feel pretty approachable, to share some tips and tricks for how I like to use purple eyeshadow and just colored eyeshadow in general to make it feel a little bit more approachable and wearable. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely keep on watching. And I'm thinking of making this a series, the Colour Magick series, where I basically focus on one color and really how I bring it to life on my face, what colors I use with it, and yeah, just harnessing the magic of a specific color. So consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, and let's get into it. The first thing I like to do with a colored eyeshadow look is just really focus on creating a blank canvas for the eyelid. So I do already have foundation and brows on, which you can probably tell, but I do have a bit of concealer on the lid, but I want to go in with a white or like really brightening eyeshadow as a base. This basically gives something for the eyeshadow to like blend on top of, something for the purple to blend on top of, while also setting any concealer or foundation I might have on the eyelid already. And I do like to go in first with the eyeshadow before doing blush because I can just like customize the blush tone, adjust it based on how the eye look ends up turning out. So definitely doing the eyes first when I'm doing a colorful eye. Going to go into this purple here, the lighter one, with a pretty big brush so I can get it all over the lid. I always start at the center of the eyelid and then work out from there. So it's nice to have a brush like this that you can get it over most of the lid, but then take a second brush that's clean and fluffy to take the edges and start diffusing it up to the brow bone towards the inner corner. So 2 brushes, pretty handy trick in general. And just start building up the pigment slowly. The biggest mistake I've done with colored eyeshadow, or just really any darker eyeshadow, is when I bring the shade too close to this part of the eye, it just starts to look messy when I have like a kind of darker pigment here and more of a messy blend. So that's why I really focus it on the center and then work like in, so I can create more of a soft gradient towards this part of the eye and then towards also the outside of the eye. Now I do want to bring this color a little bit farther out, so I will pat it into this area and then blend. I think I used to love this purple so much because it almost has a pink to it. I don't want to say warmth exactly, but compared to like this nail color, it's got something really fresh and almost warm about it. It's really pretty purple. All right, doing the same thing on the other eye, starting with the pigment here, laying the shadow, then taking that clean brush and using that to blend. So yeah, thinking of making this a series where the eye look, or the look in general, is just really focused on one color because, as I talk about on my channel, I find color really has an energy to it. I feel like purple eyeshadow has a similar feel of like blue, like baby blue eyeshadow. I find that people really gravitate towards like baby blue eyeshadow looks, but purple's just a touch more like mystical, even a little bit feminine, so to say, and it can be really fun color to play with in the spring and the summer. At this point, I want to brighten up the inner corner and create a bit more of a blend to the brow bone. So I'm going to take another palette actually. This is the Huda Rose Quartz. Basically what you're looking for is either, you could do this with a white or just a very desaturated version of the color you're doing. So I'm just going to go in with this very pale pink here. I'm going to focus this in the inner corner. Can you see how that's just like kind of a lighter version of this shade? So I'm going to bring that along the perimeter of my blend with a smaller brush. This is just what helps create that more unified feeling to the whole look, even if you just do it very lightly. And you can bring it all the way up to the brow bone, especially because it's like such a pale color, even if it's just very, very softly. Now I'm going to go into the darker purple here and start bringing some depth into the crease. This is going to help especially when I go in with the shimmers, which tend to go on top of the pigment. So it's going to make sure some more of the purple really does shine through. So it's basically a three-pronged approach. You put down your main shade, a little bit of a lighter version of it, or desaturate the pigment with some white in the inner corner, and then add some depth on the crease or outer corners. I find like 3 shades, 3 mattes is kind of like a really good go-to, because you're not going to overwhelm yourself with too many colors, and you have just like the 3 stepping stones of light, medium, and dark. Okay, shimmer time, yay. I'm gonna go in with 2 little drops of the NYX glitter glue. I don't know if you could see, but these tiny little dots really blend it into my finger and just like very lightly tap it, because I don't want to lift any of the mattes I just so carefully laid down. So I think I'm gonna use both these shimmers. I'm gonna start with the lighter one here. I'm going to put that closer to the inner corner, the inner half of the eye, patting it softly on top. And then the darker shimmer, which is cool because it has a blue reflect in it that you can see, I'm sure. And that's going to go a little bit farther out. Oh yeah. It's something about that purpley blue combo that really gets me excited. It's just so mystical. This is the point where you might want to stop. You could definitely leave the eye look like this, or think about if you want to do anything on the lower lash line and or a wing. I do want to start by putting a bit of pigment on the lower lash line, although leaving it blank is part of keeping it pretty approachable. But I'm going to take that light pink again, put it on the lower lash line. If I start with the lightest shade, it can help me decide if I want to build up the pigment or just keep it on the lighter side. And I think I do want to add a little bit of this purple here, my mid-tone, but I'm not bringing this all the way to the inner corner, just to about there. And now the eternal question, to wing or not to wing? I find with colored eyeshadow looks, especially ones on the lighter side like this, like a, lighter purple or blue or green. Anyway, a wing can go really nicely. It just kind of adds that contrast that helps the other colors pop. However, I'm not really in the mood for doing a wing right now. So instead, I'm going to focus more on the lashes being what really frames this look. And I'm going to go in with a black eyeshadow just to add a very soft, barely detectable bit of shading along the outer end of the lash line, and this will help blend the lash I put on, just a half lash. So I'll just like press a little bit of this black along the lash line as close as you possibly can. And it's fairly subtle, but it's just something that helps even the mascara just look a bit more seamless. That's it. Time for lashes. This is really what's gonna make this feel more like an eyeshadow look and not just like a bunch of weird messy colors on your face. So I'm gonna pop off camera, put on some mascara, a little half lash. I'm not really sure whatever I can find. I'm kind of running low on lashes. I really need to reorder. I'm gonna just pop off camera to do that and then decide what cheek and lip to pair with this to really bring this look together. Lashes are on. I did pop a little bit of white in the waterline, just softly. I always find that helps along with mascara to just really bring the look together, providing that contrast to let the color pop. So now blush and lip. This is really what can kind of make or break a look in my opinion. And I'm always like, I want to choose the right tone. So when I'm kind of on the fence about which direction to go, I'll like hold up the shades to my face. Like I was thinking I could go really fresh with a vibrant orange. Then that looks kind of too clownish to me. Then I was thinking maybe like a pretty classic pink. Then this was kind of looking a bit too cool tone for me or something. I don't know. So then I thought something like this, similar to this pink, but a little bit warmer, a little bit peachier, kind of like an in-between of those two shades I was looking at. This is She's That Girl from Patrick Ta. Pretty classic blush placement. Nothing too high, nothing too low. But you can go so many different ways when you start to choose the other products to go with a look. Like today I'm really in the mood for something fresh and springy, but with purples, I've opted for like more like bronzy tan brown shades. That makes it a little bit more grungy. And I'm feeling pretty happy with this decision. Going in with the Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten. Just a soft dusting of this. Now I'm going to go in with Endless Cacao. Yes, again, to line the lips, and this is cool toned. So it's a nice frame. Again, sort of like a frame like the lashes for the lip. And now I'm torn between a couple shades. Something a little cooler and darker, or fresh like the cheek. I've been using this one a lot lately, but I think it's what's gonna look best. It's from Flower Nose. It's the shade Cupid. I'm gonna just dab it on. It's like a peachy pink. Like I just want it to look pretty neutral but fresh. I find there was this time, probably a couple years ago, but like Kardashians were really defining what a neutral lip was, and it was usually these more tan shades. I found those really washed me out, and once I found this shade that's more pinky and saturated a little bit, like it really felt like, okay, this is the lip I can rely on to go with so many like eye looks. So I think that looks good. I'm going to top it with a gloss. This is from Tower 28, and it's the shade Pistachio. And actually, I think I could add a little bit more pigment. All right, here is the finished makeup look. I'm really liking it. I feel like it feels pretty fresh, even though it's a pretty bold color. Like, it's just really fun. And I'm going out tonight to a show, so why not have a little bit of fun with color? I really think when you're building a colorful eye look like this, just do things step by step before like overwhelming yourself, and yeah, do the lashes and everything before deciding what colors to use. It's always helpful, like I said, to just like hold up tones and see if you're liking how it's looking with the eye. I just find creating that sense of harmony that you like with a look is really what's going to make you feel confident when you're wearing something a little bit more bold. Anyway, I think this was really fun. I'll turn down the lights and you can see a little bit more of the shimmer that way. Here's the lower lighting. I think you can really see the glow of the highlighter and the really shimmery, sparkly iridescence of these really beautiful shimmers. Really fun. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching to the end. It really helps support my channel. And if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that really means a lot. Let me know if you'd like me to make this sort of a series where I focus on like one color and how I use it. Possibilities are endless really, because color can go on and on and on in all the different kinds of shades. But yeah, this is something I really felt called to do at this time of year, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, may you find a little bit of makeup magic yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, witches.